People aren't just hesitant, they're hardened. And trust is the new currency of conversion. So, how do you sell in a trust starved world without pumping out a football field's worth of content, slashing your prices to win people over, waiting months or years for nurture to do its thing, or begging strangers on the internet to believe in you? In this episode, I'll show you how to shift the way people feel about buying so they don't just want your offer, they trust it. And in just 24 hours, this is how you get premium buyers to move from guarded to hell yes using conviction velocity. Now, hey, and welcome back to the Business Real Talk, the show where we ditch the fluff, call out the BS, and get straight to what actually works to grow and scale a real business in today's market for decades to come. Now, in last week's episode, it was a spicy one. We broke down automation versus validation and why throwing a bunch of funnel tech at your business won't magically fix buyers who still aren't sold. Because, spoiler, automation doesn't work if your leads don't trust you in the first place. And that's exactly what we're diving in today. The real reason your sales are stalling, your leads are ghosting, and your perfect content is getting nothing but polite critics. Because trust is no longer a warm and fuzzy vibe. It's the barrier to entry. And if you're still trying to earn it by handing out freebies like candy or begging for attention on a content treadmill, you're gonna get left behind. And I know you feel that. But here's the good news. When you do know how to build trust, not over months, but in a matter of hours, everything shifts. Suddenly, leads stop ghosting and start leaning in. They're not just warmed up, they're all in. That lingering skepticism is gone, and price objections, they're not happening. And your sales cycles, they're cut in half, if not more. Because building trust the right way doesn't just make you feel credible, it creates conviction. And that conviction, it makes people move faster with more certainty and with way less handholding from you. To give you reference, in 2025, we've had more pay in fulls than ever before. And one of my clients just came to me and told me that she doubled her revenue from last year in the first 6 months of the year. So yes, while we acknowledge that business has shifted, it doesn't mean that people aren't buying. It means that people are paying premium prices. People are investing heavily in every sector and every niche, but trust is pivotal in making that happen. People are not going to buy blindly anymore. They're only going to buy when they believe that you are the real deal, the only solution with no guesswork and no gambling. Because they will buy when should I becomes why wouldn't I? And that's what today's episode is really about. The ripple effect that happens when your leads don't just like you, they believe you, they trust you, and they buy like it. So let's get real and zoom out for a second, because this shift did not just happen overnight. We're not where we are because of one small shift in the market. We didn't wake up one day to a trust recession. It was built brick by brick, funnel by funnel, bold ass promise by bold ass promise. And for years, the online business world ran on hype. Guarantees that sounded too good to be true because they were, flashy marketing, fake urgency, and way too many people selling success they hadn't actually earned. Now imagine walking into a store where every product had a warning label that said, may not deliver, could be a scam, likely overpromised. That's what's happening in the buying landscape. Buyers have their guard up because they got burned because they got smart. They got tired of being catfished and burning through money with fake experts who promised the world yet had zero intention on delivering on those promises. Too much fake it till you make it, not enough actually delivering on results. And in a few economic shifts thrown in, some shaky buying power, and boom, the trust rug was pulled and people started holding their wallets a lot tighter, and businesses, they started feeling it. Sales cycles stretched out like a bad season on Netflix, full of buildup and no payoff. Leads started ghosting after consuming all your content like they were prepping for a quiz that they're never going to take. And let me think about it, turned into the new scene on your sales calls. And objections, oh, they leveled up. Not just price or timing, but can I actually trust that you're going to deliver, even from your so-called ideal clients? And launches that used to perform are now flopping or flatlining, and your proven content has crickets. And now there's this unspoken pressure to do more proof, more testimonials, more value, more, just to convince someone to give you a shot. It's exhausting and it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to adapt. So now buyers aren't impulsive. They're intentional and discerning, which is a great thing for real experts. And those who were spending more frivolously stopped spending altogether. I call this the mid-intent crowd because they were spending even though it wasn't a main priority for them. Now, here's the truth. Most businesses are not going to survive the trust recession. That's just fact. Not because they're bad at what they do, but because they don't know how to create conviction. Because you're not just competing with other offers, you're competing with skepticism. And instead of evolving with the market, a lot of businesses are panicking. And what did we start seeing? A flood of trust hacks, outdated advice, drop your prices to make it an easier yes, offer trials or no risk guarantees so they can test you out, build a low ticket trust offer to ease buyer fears, give away more for free just to try and build value. Or the worst one, just show up consistently and hope that eventually they come around. It's like trying to win back someone who's been cheated on. You send the flowers, you write the long paragraphs, you say all the right things, but the problem isn't how nice you are. It's that their trust was broken, and no amount of over giving or over explaining is going to fix that. That's not building trust. It's compensating for a lack of it. Now, most people are trying to work around the trust issue instead of actually solving it. So here's the deal. It's not about lowering your value to match their skepticism. It's about creating a process that builds certainty in your value, because trust doesn't come from lowering resistance. It comes from creating conviction. So how the heck do you create conviction quickly, effectively, and without the gimmicks that make your soul cringe? Not by bribing buyers with discounts, not by drowning them in a 37 email nurture sequence, and definitely not by building a trust ladder with a $27 starter pack. Because here's the thing, conviction doesn't take time. It takes the right experience. You don't need months to earn trust. You need moments that stack and fast. Moments that move someone from maybe to hell yes without second guessing. That's what conviction velocity is all about. It's about creating a buying experience that builds trust, belief, and urgency at speed. So premium buyers are moving faster. They're feeling more certain, and they're buying with zero hesitation, because trust isn't built by slowing down the sale. It's built by speeding up belief. Now, there are 3 keys to conviction velocity, so let's break them down. Number 1, the common ground. People trust people who get them. So if you've ever heard this before, you understand me better than I understand myself. That's the moment that trust begins, okay? We're not starting with education. We're starting with empathy. When someone feels seen, you stop scanning for red flags and you start listening. See, 81% of consumers say that trust is built through shared values and emotional connection, not just expertise. And here's a way to think about it. Imagine that you're walking into a party where you don't know anyone until you hear someone quoting your favorite movie. Suddenly you're in. You feel safe. You're connected. You're open. That's common ground. Okay. Instead of proving your expertise out the gate, start by proving you understand their world. That's the icebreaker that makes them feel like you are their safe space. So ask yourself this: what are your buyers experiencing right now? What have they tried or been told to do that didn't work, and why didn't it work? That is what you're going to start with to create that common ground. Now, the second piece of the puzzle is knowing how to create clarity over persuasion, aka show the how, not just the wow. So trust isn't just feeling safe. Let's be honest. I'm talking about there's more things to it. It's about knowing what to expect. So here's the deal. People are not buying blindly. We've made that clear. You can shout all day about the amazing outcomes you deliver, testimonials, all the things. But if you don't show them the method, the secret sauce that makes those results possible, you're basically asking them to take a leap of faith into the abyss. And spoiler alert, most people won't do that. That's why showing your methodology isn't just a nice to have, it's the linchpin of trust. Imagine a restaurant with a glass kitchen. You can see the food being made. The chefs are working, the care that's being taken. You don't need to ask if it's clean or safe. You can see it with your own 2 eyes. It's the difference between walking into that restaurant and knowing nothing about it and just having to trust the waiter telling you that the food is amazing versus seeing that for yourself. Which one makes you feel safer? Seeing the process creates trust. You get to witness the care, the skill, the exact steps that lead to the final result. That's what showing your methodology does. It pulls back the curtain. It lets people see how you work with your magic. And when they do, they move from, maybe to hell yes, I'm in. And in a world where 70% of buyers say that transparency in the sales process is a top factor to choosing who they buy from, clarity isn't just nice, it's what sparks conviction. So no more crossing your fingers that they see your value, just certainty, and certainty sells. So the third and final piece is micro decisions. Stack those yeses. You don't get to conviction in one giant leap, right? You get there through small strategic moments of agreement. Each yes even a silent one, removes that friction. So whether it's that's exactly what I've been feeling or I've never heard it said that way before, that's what's creating conviction one step by another. Now, studies in behavioral psychology to back that up show that commitment grows through what we call consistency bias. The more small agreements someone makes, the more likely they are to follow through with a big one. So think of it like Netflix. Netflix doesn't try to sell you, right? They're not trying to get you obsessed with the whole series at once. They just autoplay that next episode after the next one. And by the third one, you're hooked. Your content and your buyer journey should do the same. It should create micro moments that feel so aligned that they can't not keep going. When we teach our clients the art of bingeable decisions, we don't just slap a fancy funnel together and call it bingeable. It's built to mirror decisions, episode by episode, decision by decision. It's building trust, relationships, and buy-in without pressure. So buyers feel like it's not even selling because they're selling themselves every step of the way. It creates natural urgency because each small decision is creating such a deep conviction that investing with you feels inevitable. And it works with their natural decision process. That's the magic, right? The magic behind our bingeable process is not just slapping some videos or audios together and making it work. It's built around methodology, your innovation, being able to create that transparency about what you do. So every single time we teach our clients how to build a bingeable system, it's built around methodology. And number two, because it's working to actually mirror their natural decision process. So when you go through our stuff, it's not just random words put together. Those words are stacking on top of each other, building through your natural decision cycle, which means every time someone makes a decision, it feels good because they're happening at their own pace with their own damn certainty. Not because you tricked them, not because you tried to force them, but because you showed them. That's not salesy, it's sustainable. And it's how trust gets built in hours and not months. That's how conviction velocity makes it possible. And this is just one single piece of the puzzle inside of the EZS method that breaks down to 3 core pillars. Number 1 is winning the market. The reality of it is competition is fierce. And your best clients, the ones who already want to buy right now, they're not going to look for another take on the same thing. They're searching for a breakthrough that makes them say, holy crap, where has this been all my life? I have been waiting for this. So while most businesses fight for attention, try to compete, smart experts, they're making their competition irrelevant. We do this by using our innovative gap methodology. So what we do is we help you uncover and articulate what makes you truly innovative by actually using a science-backed approach that pinpoints the gaps in the market that only you can fill. This means you're not just another option, you're the only option for high-intent buyers. And instead of chasing and convincing, you're creating demand where high-end clients seek you out, instantly see your value, and invest without hesitation. This step alone allows my clients to 5 to 10x their prices and have clients happily line up to work with them. Now, the next step, once you have your innovative method, is that we turn that into a bingeable decision system. So think of how Netflix gets you to sit down, binge watch an entire series without taking any breaks and becoming a diehard fan. Now, imagine that your buyers were doing the same thing with you. They were binging their way through your sales system, and with every episode, they became more obsessed, selling themselves on you every single step of the way. We call that the bingeable decision system, and it works because it mirrors the natural decision cycle every single human being goes through so that they're able to binge their way through your sales system, coming out so eager, so ready to work with you that they beg to get on your calendar and join your program. No more chasing, no more months of back and forth, no more feeding your audience so much content that your brain hurts, just a simple system that gets your leads to sell themselves. Now, the third and final piece is about actually delivering on the promise you made. You didn't think that I was just going to get you through all the client acquisition, the marketing, the sales, and not teach you how to actually build a sustainable business, did you? Because sustainable businesses understand that marketing alone is not enough. You have to be able to deliver on your promises and create raving fans. This is why we've built our Happy Client Machine, the systematic approach that allows you to deliver world-class results to your clients at scale without being fully reliant on you. So you can have clients who are singing your praises, shouting from the rooftops to anyone that they meet, while actually being able to enjoy your life. That is the power behind the EZS method, where you're able to build your business systems, your strategies, and your innovation to take your industry and the world by storm so you become the most talked about and most bought from expert. So if you're an action taker, you're like, I've heard enough. I want to see how the EZS method can be applied inside my business. I want to invite you to apply for a growth optimization call. On this call, you and I will sit down. We'll talk about your current approach for getting consistent clients. I'll specifically share with you how to position your work so you have high intent clients chasing you down. And I'll show you, if it makes sense, how the easiest method could be applied to your business to turn your expertise into a bingeable masterpiece. So if you're ready to apply for your call, head on over to ecsleads.com/call. Now, if you're new around here or you want to learn a little bit more about how the Netflix effect works to get leads to sell themselves, I want to invite you to go check out our limited time on demand series. I break down the 3 steps of what it actually takes to get your leads to sell themselves, what it actually means to leverage the Netflix effect. So if you're ready to go check that out, head on over to thenetflixeffect.com. Now, my goal is that you've walked away from this episode understanding the difference between time-built trust and realizing that it's really about creating conviction. Knowing how to speed up the process of belief is truly the game changer that brings your business to scale and allows you to get clients who sell themselves, who love you, who are ready to buy without needing to stay months, if not years, inside of your world. So if this has gotten you to think differently today, I would love and appreciate if you could take 1 minute out of your busy day and go rate, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. But until next time, here's to keeping it real.